Welcome everyone, my name is Marjorie and thank you for stopping by today. In today's video, I am participating in a Sunday Funday open invite hosted by Yanni and Diane from Deco Easy and co-hosted with Trish and Kay from the Crafting Cousins. My first video, I have this, it was some scrap board that I had in my, my garage, and I'm just using it to make a sign. And I've got these painter sticks that I've used for other projects, and these were just scraps. So what I'm doing is I took one painter stick and measured it at the end, and this is just gonna help me make things even. So then I use a combination of hot glue and Gorilla Wood glue to put the scrap piece of painter stick down. Now what I did is I got these puffed up little circle stickers from the Dollar Tree, and I put it on 2 pieces on each of the little paint stir stick pieces. I'm sorry guys, I have allergies, and so if I sniffle a lot today, I'm sorry. But what I do now is I'm taking my paint in the color Sage, and I'm giving this entire board one good coat. And that's all it really took. I didn't have to do multiple coats. It has really good coverage on here. Now what I did is I just took some painter's tape and outlined the edge in between where basically kind of like the center. And I am using my Kills chalk paint in white, and I'm giving it a really good coat on the inside. Excuse me. So here I'm just showing you, I'm taking my blow dryer and just drying it. I'm so glad I decided to start using that, because it does help my projects go by a lot faster. So here I'm taking a small paintbrush and some Waverly antique wax, and I'm painting over those little stickers just to kind of give it like a nail look. And then you'll see that I'll actually take a paintbrush and give it a good distressing. Sorry if I'm out of the frame on the entire sign, but at least you can see what I'm doing on the top portion. Whatever I'm doing on the top portion is basically the same that I'm doing on the bottom portion of the sign. So then I take some of those Dollar Tree letters and I spell out the word blessed, and then here I am freehanding the word always. I wanted to use something a little bit different because you see a lot of the simply blessed, but at the same time I feel like I am always blessed. So I chose to write that on this sign. And I write it in pencil, and then I just go over it with my Sharpie marker, and here's how it looked. For my second project, I had this cork board. It was kind of like a, it was like kind of like a reddish wood color. I don't know if that's called mahogany or not. I can't remember. Anyways, I'd actually got this at a thrift store for 99 cents. I got 3 of them. They were 99 cents each, but they are so thick and sturdy. I actually a while back did some white and then just the antique wax distressing, but I thought I would do something a little bit different. And so I'm just going over it with some Waverly chalk paint in the color Steel. And I just give all the sides a really good coat of paint. So once I was done with that, I pulled up all of the painter's tape. And then as you see at the bottom right of the screen, those are just some Dollar Tree roses that I had. I've had them for quite a while and I just really wanted to do something with it. And I saw something that inspired me to do this, but oh my goodness, guys, for the life of me, I can't remember where it was. It was online at a store, but I can't remember where. But it inspired me to do this. So I'm just taking the roses and gluing a couple rows of the roses on top of the cork board. And then I take some of the smaller roses and I kind of fill in where there's some gaps. Now, if you want to, you could paint this portion of the corkboard white or whatever, just to kind of help with the gaps. But I figured wherever this is placed, you're not going to see the very, very top of it. So if there was a little gap or two, that would be okay. And then what I don't show is that I actually took a piece of buffalo check ribbon and made a stripe of it right up under the flowers, just to give it a little more decor. And there it is. For this third sign, I'm taking this love sign from the Dollar Tree back from Valentine's Day, and I think I give it 2 or 3 coats of the Kills white chalk paint, and in between I do use my blow dryer and heat it up to help it speed up the drying process. So I took the Dollar Tree wall decor, the little pieces, and I put the Home Sweet Home words on there. So what I tried to do is space them out evenly into 3 different spots on the board. And then I took some painter's tape and kind of boxed off that area. That way I can take my antique wax paint and go over and give it a rustic distress look in between the signs, almost like it was in some framed art. Now in this one, I did choose to leave it a little plain. If you wanted to, once you take the paint tape off, you could actually run a border of some jute cord around the square just to give it a little extra trim. And leave a comment down below, if you will, if any other ideas you might think would be great as an addition to that sign. So here is a Christmas sign that I got from Hobby Lobby. It was like 90% off, so it's just probably about $2 or $3, no big deal. And I didn't show painting the top and bottom wood portion the sage green, but I did do that. And then once it dried, I kind of taped it off, so now I can use the black chalk paint from the Dollar Tree and just give the center portion of the sign a really good coat. So once all of it was dry, these are just some of the letters from the Dollar Tree where I had actually used the letters. So I went and cut out the part of the, well, if I can talk today, the remaining part of the letter so I could use them as a stencil. And so I just spell out the words "let's stay," and I go ahead and get a little sponge pouncer and use my chalk paint, and I go ahead and stencil those letters on there. Now I did have to go over it a couple of times with the white paint, but the last coat that I used, I actually used a paintbrush, a regular paintbrush, to brush the paint on there because I don't really like the textured look that the sponge with the pouncing gives it. It's okay for some projects, but I just didn't really like it for this one, so I wanted to make sure I had the finished lines on it than the pouncing marks. But I think I did have to do 2 or 3 coats. And then I just freehand the word home, and I used excuse me, I used a glass marker in white, and it just wasn't coming out as bright of a white that I wanted it to be. So I'm taking this, I think it's a chalk writer from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just using it going over all the letters just to make it as bright as the rest of the sign. And that was pretty much it. This was a real simple and easy sign. I think all of my signs were definitely less than $4. I mean, we're talking about typically, you know, $2 to $3 for each of the signs that I made here. So I want to say thank you for stopping by, and please check out the host and co-host and the playlist in the description box below. And I hope you guys have a blessed week.